Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Wow, wow, wow. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good.
Yeah, I got the white man overbite thing going on. You know, I'm so I just you know, the worse the bad guys get, the better, you know, they're making our point. You know, who's the biggest recruiter for freedom? The non-freedom guys. You know, they just like cattle driving them. You got the cattle prods out driving them towards freedom orientation, because what's the alternative? Being a slave? Maybe not. You know, the one other thing you were talking about, Greg is going, you know, hey, we'll get to Greg more in the next hour, but I wanted to get this stuff out because, I mean, and what he's going, yeah, well, what about the holodeck? I mean, do you have that? Yeah, well, here's the shields. They got the sound going on, full face shield going in, you move and gyroscope and this. And I mean, heck, you can fly these little remote robot helicopters with your iPhone. You think they can't put a gyroscope in your head? You know, and you just look around, you know, done. I remember there was a book I read when I was about 12 or something on vacation one time. My family, I'm in the back seat, you know, reading this book. I just got it off the shelf, some sci-fi thing. And it was called Then Beggars Could Ride. I'm a kid. I don't know what the heck that means. You know, if wishes were horses, then beggars could ride. You know, and I don't know, what the heck does that mean? I remember Then Beggars Could Ride was the name of the book. And in there was it was about in the future, they lived in what they called mims, a mimicry. You would select what place you would want to live in. You wanted to have a matriarch society, you go into this Navajo village kind of thing, and you have high-tech teepees or hogans or whatever. You got high-tech this, water purification, but you lived the culture there. Or you lived in the Roaring 20s, or you lived in whatever. Well, one of them was kind of like this Star Trek, you know, fan thing. And he put on a helmet, and he comes out of it finally as like a day later, you know, he's in there living being Captain Kirk or whatever. And I'm going, wow, that would be cool. Someday, you know what? It's here. Here we go. When you have, now they're even wanting to do sensor suits. Oh, man, they even got, you know, stimulation sensor suits for the porn industry. Ooh, what happens when you put on your, I'm going to go visit, you know, Jenna, what's her name, you know, sensor suit. I'll be back in a couple of days. I mean, this is happening now. And you want to know what the future is in technology, in the interface between humans and whatever external stimulation they can get. You look at gaming and you look to the porn industry. You want to know what's coming? That's where you go. So here we go. So now we got holodeck. We got replicators in the 3D printing thing. You might not be able to eat it. Oh, then again, you might. You know, they might, you know, make it with edible printing laser making, you know, it looks like a lettuce. It's green, you know. So you never know. You never know. You never know. Little flavoring, you know. They say, oh, I don't want to go into this natural flavoring thing. Ugh. Anyway, so now we're looking at a lot of this. It's just happening, but you also get access to information. Now, one of the things, I want to play this real quick. I got enough time. It's only a few minutes. This is Russia Today, okay? Russia Today is doing a thing on Libya. Now, the Libya, everybody say, well, it's because oil. It's because, you know, he doesn't play nice. It's because of humanitarian. It's because, no, it's because of they want to create a gold-based currency for the continent of Africa. Gaddafi's been on this thing for, he wanted to make mad the big bad boys. This is how you do it. That's what we were talking about with Brock earlier in the second segment, is that, you know, this is starting to become available even online. What happens if they actually go to a African dinar or something? You know, just give this a listen. I think this, you know, just cut through a lot of it right here from Russia Today.
According to some, it's about protecting civilians.
And our resolve is clear. The people of Libya must be protected.
Others say it's about oil.
The only reason they're interested with Libya is about the oil. You think we'd be in Iraq if the major export there was broccoli?
But some are convinced intervention in Libya is all about currency, specifically Gaddafi's plan to introduce the gold dinar, a single African currency made from gold, a true sharing of the wealth.
It's one of these things that you have to plan almost in secret. because as soon as you say you're going to change over from the dollar to something else, you're going to be targeted. There were two conferences on this, one in 96 and another one in the year 2000, called the World Mataba Conference, organized by Gaddafi. And everybody was interested. I think most countries in Africa were keen.
Gaddafi didn't give up. In the months leading up to the military intervention, he called on African and Muslim nations to join together to create this new currency that would rival the dollar and euro. They would sell oil and other resources around the world only for gold dinars. It's an idea that would shift the economic balance of the world. Countries' wealth would depend on how much gold they have, not how many dollars they trade. And Libya has 144 tons of gold. The UK has double that, but 10 times the population.
If Gaddafi had an intent to try to reprice his oil or whatever else the country was selling in the global markets and accept something else as a currency, or maybe launch a gold dinar currency, any move such as that would certainly not be welcomed by the power elite today who are responsible for controlling the world's central banks. So yes, that would certainly be something that would cause his immediate dismissal and the need for other reasons to be brought forth for removing him from power.
It's happened before. In 2000, Saddam Hussein announced Iraqi oil would be traded in euros, not dollars. Sanctions and an invasion followed. Some say because the Americans were desperate to prevent OPEC from transferring oil trading in all its member countries to the euro. A gold dinar would have had serious consequences for the world financial system, but may also have empowered the people of Africa, something black activists say the US wants to avoid at all costs.
The United States should welcome the self-determination of Africans. They certainly have denied self-determination to Africans inside the United States, so we're not surprised by anything that the United States would do to hinder self-determination of Africans on the continent.
The UK's gold is kept here in a secure vault somewhere in the depths of the Bank of England. As in most developed countries, there's not enough to go around. But that's not the case in places like Libya and many of the Gulf states. A gold dinar would have given oil-rich African and Middle Eastern countries the power to turn around to their energy-hungry customers and say, sorry, the price has gone up and we want gold. Some say the US and its NATO allies literally couldn't afford to let that happen. Laura Emmett, RT, London.
Yeah, you get it? Get it? Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Could not afford to let that happen. Because what do we do now? Yeah, we just crank up the printing press, push an electronic button, get some, here you goes, your dollars. And they go, we want gold now. Because we can. And they go, well, it's hard for you to collect the gold when we got a freaking missile at your forehead. So, this is all going to come out sooner or later. I mean, economics is about numbers. It's math, arithmetic. Heck, it's not even complicated math. It's arithmetic. It's 1 + 1. This is going to come crashing down, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Sooner or later, everything finds its balance and mean in what is real currency. All right. So how do we deal with this? Well, we need to prep. We need to be ready. And there's a lot of things, so one of it's just communicating with each other. I am concerned that the future is going to be a control of that flow of information. That's why you have, Facebook is going into control by the man. AOL, I remember that was a big thing, conspiracies back in the 90s when they first started doing AOL. Everybody's claiming they were CIA anyway. So I'm, I'm so shocked. So what happens to AOL and Time Warner? Oh, that made them, more freedom-oriented. So I'm just, it doesn't matter whether they are or not. Is there something that we can do to be outside of the control of just even think that way? Is Google going to be it? This cloud thing where you don't have the information? One thing Brock was saying, he's going, look, man, it's an encrypted file. It's on everybody's, computer as its own node. Is that the way to go? I don't know. I tell you one other thing we have here I wanted to get to. I'll just do this real quick. Here on front of Freedom's Phoenix is Obama, Facebook, and Restoring the Republic. Gary Franchi from RTR.org, they've been working on this. They've been, going through beta and getting, and they're upgrading quite a bit. He's ready to launch. He's like, Restore the Republic, RTR.org, and their social networking for the revolution. Go check it out, RTR.org. We're going to start, but we've been having band rads for it. We've been promoting it on Freedom's Phoenix, and we'll get to where we're starting to interface with it more and more. But, it's always going to come down to us communicating directly, mind to mind, across these fantasy lines that they created on maps that to Generation Next mean nothing. Nothing. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.